Late one night, drunkenly browsing through AliExpress on my phone, I spotted something I'd not seen before under my usual searches for walkie-talkies and two-way radios, and it was this, a tactical empty case for a radio. Now, if you've been following the channel, you will know that I have made a working replica of a burned out fire and police radio, so this is something that tickles my funny bone, so to speak. The first case that I saw was for the very classic American military radio, the Thales PRC-148. This radio is the most popular multi-band tactical radio used by the military and NATO forces around the world. It is made by the company Thales Communications, a subsidiary of the Thales Group, a French multinational company that's also partially state-owned. It's a pretty big outfit with over 80,000 employees, and it is the 8th largest defence contractor in the world. The name ANPRC translates to Army Navy Portable Radio, used for two-way communications. The US Army currently has over 31,000 of these radios in service, with the associated base chargers and mobile range boosters. The radio itself is a software-defined radio and operates on a wide frequency range from 30 to 512 MHz. It has AM and FM modes with a power output of up to 5 watts. As you would expect from a military radio, it has NSA-endorsed Type 1 triple DES encryption and comes with accessories such as a remote control unit with GPS, satellite data controller and different vehicle and combat tactical headgear adapters. So some impressive specs and a formidable radio, and one that seems to be very popular with real action role players and soft air players. Seeing a market for such a device, the Chinese marketplace with free abandon just copied it. Well, they copied the case at first anyway. So, here we have it. It's basically an empty box designed to take a walkie-talkie of your choice. However, it's not quite as straightforward as it seems. So over to me in the shack to see what radio I can get to fit. Right, out of the box, this thing is pretty light actually. You can see it's got a fake display in the top of it, and the rubberized buttons on the side which don't actually move, they don't actually do anything, but it's a very close match to the original. If you see from the original photographs here, they even supply you with some stickers that you can stick on the side to make it a closer match. This is the headphone socket, which you can buy an adapter for, so you can connect the tactical headset to the radio, which of course they sell on AliExpress. And it really does make a really nice solution actually when you see it all combined with the gear that these guys wear with the folding tactical antennas. It comes with this stubby antenna as standard, a rubberized keypad that doesn't really do anything, but you can remove, as you'll see later, and then the top mounted controls which are fixed. Which don't do anything, they're just purely there to match the original radio. Now, all of the screws in the back of the radio there are all fake as well, they're just for effect, and you get this dummy antenna which is basically just a long length of solid plastic, as I found out. And there it is next to the aerial and the standard UV-5R Plus. The device also has a faux headphone connector on the side as well, which matches the original radio quite well, and a fake battery compartment case. On the original radio, I believe the battery compartment twists off. Now, I had all ideas of fitting a UV-5R inside this radio, so I picked myself up a UV-5R tri-band radio. About the cheapest version of this I could find on eBay, about $19.99 delivered, and it says on the website that you can actually fit a UV-5R into this case, so I was quite excited by the prospect, let's just say, so I thought we'd give it a go. Anyway, the top case just pulls off, as you can see there. There's those pins located on the underside, and initially I did try and fit it in with the longer antenna, but of course it wouldn't fit, so I inserted my stubby antenna into the radio. On the website it does actually show you this process. Here on the video it explains UV-5R look can go in, that you have to cut out the post with a pair of scissors and technically, or a pair of pliers, as you should do really, it will fit. Now on the 152 radio case that they sell, the UV-5R definitely does fit. You can see there without any modification, so if you want to do this I'd suggest you get that case. Anyway, I set about with my best side cutters there, snipping away at the box to try and fit the UV-5R inside the case. This proved to be a problem. It was still a very, very tight fit, and it just didn't seem to want to go in. So then I removed the case screws and it still wouldn't go in, so I tried a number of other radios that still wouldn't fit in. Got out my Dremel tool and sanded all these down flat to the case just to make sure there wasn't anything protruding that was preventing it from going in. So then I decided to take the screen out. This comes out by removing this plate at the back, and the rubber buttons also can be removed as well should you want to. As you can see, the dummy radio plate there. Now, looking at the face of it, with a bit more modification and a bit more work, you could probably fit a 5R in there. You'd probably have to remove it from the case anyway. I thought I'd just take the buttons out and see what the deal is there. Nothing I could see really, but of course with a bit of ingenuity you could make a keypad fit in there if you really wanted to. Anyway, as you can see here, the UV-5R still would not fit inside the case, so I decided to remove more of these standoffs, which I did with the tool, and it still wouldn't fit in. So really the manufacturer of this set shouldn't be advertising it as a UV-5R case, because it really is only for the UV-3R plus, the new version of the radio there. This simply wouldn't come in. I mean, you're not going to look very tactical if you the first time you hit the ground and point your gun, your radio pops apart and it all falls out of the case, and yeah, not a great look. So the only radio that I found that seemed to fit the case pretty well was the WLN KDC1. Now this would fit inside the case with the the mic and headset attachment on the side as well. So if you are looking for an alternative radio, one with good audio quality that is light, with a good battery life and easy to control, and you want to fit it inside this housing, then the KDC1 will definitely fit, whereas the UV-5R definitely will not fit unless you start to take a sander and a hacksaw to the case. It's just not going to fit. Really, I didn't really buy this case to fit any specific radio in it. I really just bought it because I thought it looked good and it was cheap. It was about £15 UK from AliExpress, and I liked it so much I ordered another one. So I think on the website here, if these pictures are shown, they show the UV-3R Plus, which isn't a very popular radio. A little case modification, and they could have made the 5R easily fit this case, but at the moment it definitely doesn't. So I had a little look, and if you really want to pay a little bit more money, you can go for this radio here. Now this radio offers, it's obviously not a real radio, but it is a real radio, but it's not obviously a military radio, but it's one made with a UHF and VHF transceiver that's very, very durable and hard wearing, and they sell in a carrying case, and they show all these destruction tests, of course, with it in ice and water, and it really does look the business. So if you are really seriously want to do this and you want it to be like a working unit, it's probably cheaper just to buy a ready-made version like this. To my knowledge, they don't do a version of my radio like this at the moment. I think it's only this one, the 152, but I could be wrong about that. As you see there, it's very popular with the role players and the paintballers and these soft air guys. Very cool. So I was really pleased with that. I thought it was a novel little thing. I think some of you guys might quite like to perhaps have a play with one of those and see if you can cram one of your radios inside. But I think if you're really serious, I'd seriously look at this version of the radio there. I've got a big birthday coming up soon, and I'm seriously tempted. I think I might have to think about that, but it certainly looks like a lot of fun, guys, doesn't it? So I think you'll agree, though, you know, once you get the stickers on and you perhaps rough it up a little bit, give it a few sort of scratches and knocks and things, that just as a party piece, a talking piece really for your friends and stuff, it's a great little thing to have, and it's not very expensive, and it's just a good bit of fun, really. It's just a shame that with a little bit more of a thought gone into the design, and perhaps trying less to mimic the exact radio, and they could have made it so the UV-5R fitted, but it generally does not fit. Unless you shouldn't be having to take hacksaws and grinders to something like this. It should just work anyway. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I've certainly found a place for this radio case. I've set it on my shelf with some of my other stranger radios, and then of course I've got a collection of other guys sat under it, as you well know. So if you have been, thanks ever so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.